I'm now recording, so you have to be careful what you say.
Nope, no more swears.
Yeah.
Are we ready
Chelsea,
to get started? I think we have, how many? I'm on my phone today. 6?
There's 6 of us so far.
6 strong. What are you talking about? I think nobody wanted to come because you're going to announce my new position, right? Is that what we're doing?
Yeah, that's why.
Like we heard.
Oh, funny.
Are you doing that because I give myself a new title every time?
Yeah, I thought we better, rein you in a little. No, I like your new titles, but we made one up for you this month. We'll see what happens next month.
Sweet.
And we're supposed to have Tom
Tom
from the city and Rick West. So kind of watching to see if they join too.
I'm paying attention to the waiting room, so.
You put your bear there on purpose?
No.
You're like a movie.
More well behaved than Pochi, so.
Okay.
I have to warn you guys too. I have to go. I have to take most of this meeting off video. I have a Make-A-Wish celebration for one of our my son's friends. So we're gonna go to that, and it's at 6 in Murray. So I'm starting here, and then I'm gonna head up to Murray to go to that. So I'll still be on the phone, but I'll probably be off video, so you guys don't have to see me driving in a CAR. So I think we'll just maybe we'll just get started and kind of see who filters in. It may adjust our agenda a bit depending on if people join or aren't able to. But I like to start with introductions. I think everyone here knows each other, but we do record this for other people to watch at their leisure. So let's do introductions. So I'm Christine Frandsen. I'm the Executive Director of BikeWalk Provo. And Aaron, can you go next?
Yeah, I'm Aaron Scabland. I'm Director of Operations for BikeWalk Provo.
Kira, you can give your your current affiliation, and then I'll announce your new affiliation in a few minutes. Same with you, Jacob.
Okay. Kira Johnson. I'm the Director of Provo Bicycle Collective. That is my association.
Jacob, go ahead.
I'm Jacob Brookes, and I don't know who I am. And
I'll tell you in a minute.
I help out with the racks and design and stuff, so we'll figure it out.
And Chelsea.
Hey, I'm Chelsea. I'm the Communications Director with BikeWalk Provo.
Hugh, if you're there and want to speak.
Yeah, hey everybody, Hugh Van Wagenen. I'm a Joaquin resident and help out with Bike to School Week in the fall.
And Logan, I just saw you, Logan joined. Do you want to introduce yourself? Okay, I'll introduce Logan. Logan is our favorite person and mostly focuses his efforts on the Hobble Creek Bike Association, but also does a lot of helpful work for BikeWalk Provo, even though he's a Springville resident. Okay, cool. So yes, I have 3 announcements.
Christine, yes. Karen Todd just joined us as well.
Oh, hi, Karen. I can't see you because I don't know why. There you are. Okay, Karen, would you like to introduce yourself if you're able to? Okay.
Okay, now can you hear me?
I can, yes.
Yeah, you can't see me because I'm eating dinner and I don't want you to watch me eat.
That's okay, no problem.
So I just volunteered to help with the communications with the newsletter and that sort of thing. And I'm happy to get involved.
Thank you, Karen. Okay, this is a great segue. So as I mentioned, we only have a few people on our meeting today, but we do record these and publish them. So if people are watching this interested in volunteering, Karen just did this, that you fill out a volunteer interest form on our website, and then we contact you and find out your interests and find out how much time you have available and try to find a good spot in the organization for you to work in. So Karen, we're so glad you did that. We're so excited to welcome you as our newsletter writer for us, and excited to meet you hopefully soon too at one of our in-person events. Along those same lines, I have two other announcements to make about positions within the organization. So the first is that I'm really excited to welcome Jacob Brookes into a new role. Jacob does a lot within BikeWalk Provo, but he thinks of a title every time that he introduces himself, but kind of the title we thought might oversee a lot of the things he's doing well is creative director. And some of the things that is involving is some graphic design work on proposals and logo and branding. And then he's also agreed to help us with some of our social media stuff, specifically our reels, so we can be cool on our Instagram feed. So thank you, Jacob, for all your work. I'm sure I didn't even cover the many things you've already done, but oh, and stencil cutting out, I should also add under creative directoring. So thank you, Jacob. And then our other position announcement I have today is Kira Johnson. So Kira is our good friend at the director of the Provo Bike Collective. But Kira has also agreed to take a leadership role within BikeWalk Provo and will be our new director of volunteer happiness. So this is we're super happy to thank you, Kira. We're super happy to have you in this role. This is a role that was created by Ricky Yetis, and he has moved on to grad school at outside of Utah, and we just hadn't found the perfect person to fill that spot. And then Kira came to us and said that she wanted to do more with BikeWalk Provo, and I felt like that was the perfect role for Kira. So thank you, Kira, for accepting that offer to take on that volunteer role, and we're really excited to see you make all our volunteers happy. So I'm going to put Kira right to work. Oh, Chelsea, did you have something?
Oh no, I just wanted to say yay.
Yay!
I'm so
Okay.
excited for Kira and Jacob and Karen to be helping. So thank you.
We have good things happening, good things moving, and if I didn't say it on a previous meeting, huge thanks to Ricky as well for the work that he did do in that role, and we wish him luck in his new place. He says, I think it's Bella Vista, or I don't know if they pronounce it Bella Vista or Bella Vista, but Alabama, is that right? Is where he moved to, and he welcomed anyone who wants a good biking experience to come and visit. Kira, am I right or wrong? I saw you
wrong.
on mute.
It's Arkansas. But
Arkansas.
you were close.
I knew it started
Had
with
an
an
A.
A. Oh. Oh man. Okay,
And-
Arkansas.
And they're just there for the summer. Then he'll move on to grad school. Yeah, in the fall.
Okay, everyone knows Ricky's story better than I should have not gone down that road. Okay, so on our agenda today, though, and did we have anyone else join? Okay, perfect. I have to scroll my phone. On our agenda today, we have Kira. She's going to do a review of Bike Month for us. The collective was very involved with Bike Month, and then also as new volunteer or new director of volunteer happiness, I felt like that was a good fit because so much of our volunteer work happened this past month during Bike Month as well. So Kira is going to kind of give us a review of the events of Bike Month. And then we have two other people on the agenda who are not yet here. So either I'll reschedule them for next month, or if they're able to join, then I'll bring them into the agenda after Kira. So I'm gonna, I have to go off camera as I mentioned, but Kira, take it away, and I'll still be on to move the agenda along after you're done.
Okay, perfect. Aaron, I think you need to enable my ability to share my screen.
All right.
Oh, nice. Oh no, don't mind all the many tabs that I have open. We'll just get rid of them. Okay, welcome to my bike month recap. Best month of the year. Thank you, Jacob, for making beautiful poster that was posted all over Provo, and yeah, creating a good image for the wonderful month. So we had a lot of events on this month's or bike month's calendar, and I was able to be at most of them, probably because most of them I was posting. But I'm just going to show some pictures and talk about a few of them, and then some kind of key takeaways. So these aren't necessarily in order of when things happened, but I was hoping that the pictures could kind of convey some of the excitement around Bike Month, as well as the variety of attendance and people that came. So there was Bike to Work or Anywhere Day, which I was going to ask Aaron if you had. Do we have any like data or numbers on how many people attended the stations?
Not yet.
Okay. Yeah, it seemed pretty poppin' to me at all the stations that I biked around to. And we had a couple of the Provo City Council members attend the bike ride, visited a few of the different breakfast stations, which is nice to see that support. And they're already bikers and are doing their part to get around by bike. So it's nice to have that in our city council. We had a lot of different social rides. We started out
Did we lose Kira?
I think we did.
So,
She's frozen.
Oh, she said, let me jump back on. She's coming back in a minute.
All right, I'll watch for her.
hey, Logan, did you end up taking the survey?
I actually haven't yet, no,
Okay,
but I plan to.
cool.
I'm back.
Oh, good.
Just keeping everybody on your toes. This is what we get for having old collective. But we also got a big grant, so we'll be upgrading. Okay. When at what point did I cut out? I don't know how long I stopped. At what?
Right here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. Well, okay, so did we, okay, so I talked, maybe you heard the tree ID ride, Utah. So I guess overall the bike rides, one of the things that I loved about them is that with each different theme, there was different people that showed up, and families. We had a lot of kids come to several of the rides, or parents with the kids in the cargo bikes. I was especially impressed with the Hidden Gems ride where we ended up at the Bike and Movie. There was so many people on that ride that I had never met before, which for a social ride is kind of unusual because I host a lot of those, and a lot of people that ride bikes come through the collective, but that was exciting. And it was nice to see some new faces. There was a lot of teenagers that were there, and it was cool to see them participating in the ride and feeling excited about kind of that like independence of being able to bike up and down. They kept coming to the front and then to the back. That was a highlight. And the cargo bike roundup, awesome turnout, even though it was raining, and or it started to rain partway through the ride, and it was very cold. But you can see in this picture there was a lot of people that showed up, and the kids ran around when we were doing the kind of show and tell of bikes. So that makes it fun. Let's see, next up. The collective also hosted several classes we have like a weekly Mechanics 101 class, and that runs beyond Bike Month, but it was running during Bike Month too. And we had a basic maintenance class. A highlight for me was the intro to bike camping. Once again, that was like a different class that we hadn't held before. And so it brought a lot of interest. There was a lot of folks that showed up and a lot of folks that I hadn't seen attend any other events. So cool, that was awesome. And Chelsea helped out with that. Look, there she is. And there's me, there's Otis, most probably importantly in my life. Basic maintenance class. We'll probably do another one of those, maybe even a few. We did one in the shop and then we did another one at the library, and both times had good turnout. Sam, who led both of those classes, said there was different people that showed up and people that he once again hadn't seen before. Reimagine Timpview Drive, really fun day of project. I don't need to talk about the rest. Somebody else can, but there is, it was fun to be out as a community trying to improve the streets and the way that they're designed. Lots of fun artwork got painted all over the street. And it was a nice evening too. So those are all fun things about the Reimagine Timpview Drive. Fuffer, Fun Underground Forest Race is an event that the Bicycle Collective hosts every year. And it's a race where we ride single speed coaster brake mountain bikes on a trail and try to see who gets the quickest time. This is a fun event, one, because it's in the name twice, so it has to be fun. And two, because it's different from a lot of the other things that we do. We don't typically host races or competitions, and it's like a casual competition, a very chill competition, and it brings people. There's some people that come to that event that I only ever see at Fuffer, and it's nice to see that support and that like recurring year to year support. And it's just, it really is fun. Can't say that enough times. Okay. Rite of Silence. This one's hosted by the Dixon Middle School Latinos in Action Club. And it's touching, it's moving. There was a good route that Aaron led, and I felt like there was a good mix of stopping at the different memorials and also just riding on the streets and exposing a lot of these middle schoolers to good bike infrastructure. A lot of them don't own bikes for themselves, so they actually borrowed some from the collective to ride around. And I think this is a powerful event that happens each year, and I'm grateful for that partnership that we have with Lucy and her students carrying that on. There's also somebody who had actually been hit while riding her bike at an intersection, came and like shared some words at the beginning of the ride, which was especially moving and just touching to hear like that personal experience and that call for and need for safer streets. This was an event that Logan put on in Springville, Motherload screening, incredible documentary, awesome turnout, so many different cargo bikes. We had a group of us from Provo bike down to show our cargo bikes as well as watch that incredible documentary. So thanks, Logan, for putting that on. I felt like he did a really good job organizing it and creating partnerships that helped spread the word. I don't know if you want to say any more about that.
Oh, just thank you so much for coming down. It felt so magical to have such a giant crowd, and I love that movie a lot. So it was good to have so many people there.
Yeah, I mean, this picture speaks volumes. There are so many people that came, were excited about it. I think everybody that had a cargo bike was letting other people test ride it, get a chance to see like people that are considering getting bikes, what style suits their needs and what works best for them, what they feel comfortable with. So those roundups are nice because it's a big investment to get a cargo bike. So it's fun to be able to share one a bike so that you can test ride, and then 2, just the passion and interest in that form of transportation. Okay, that's the end of my pictures. I felt like when I was reflecting on the good things that happened this bike month, a key thing is there was a variety of events. There was events that families could come to, that interested young kids, older kids, adults, wherever you are in life. There was something that could interest you, and I think that's why we had such good attendance at each of the events, because there was a variety of interest that we could pique there. I was thinking that potentially for next year, it could be fun to have some kind of reward or encouragement of attendance at events. So I think that's something that the collective can certainly sponsor, of like, if you come to this many events, you can get this sticker, this water bottle or something. And if you attend all of the events, then you get like a bigger prize. Maybe we can partner with.
We should totally, sorry, Kira, we should totally do a punch card. Like that would be so.
That's kind of what I was thinking. Some kind of like passport, punch card kind of system to encourage people to come and to participate, because like each of the events is so fun in their own way. And I know there's different like scheduling conflicts that can come up, but I really hope that anybody who is interested in an event feels like they're welcomed and encouraged to come, and don't feel intimidated by like not being a part of the bike crowd. Like it's all welcoming, and the more the merrier in my mind. So that was something that I thought of for next year, to try to encourage even more participation. But I think overall it was a really successful and well-attended bike month. So yeah, I don't know if anybody else has things they want to share from their experience with the month. That's everything I have.
Kira.
Yeah.
We'll be having a meeting with Whitney Booth in the mayor's office to kind of reflect on Bike to Work Day and on the other events. So I'll be in contact about that.
That would be great.
Yeah.
Did anyone else want to share kind of feedback on what they experienced during Bike Month, what they might want to do new next year or different next year? I love the punch card idea. But are there any others like that we should be thinking about while it's fresh on our minds?
Hey everybody, this is Hugh, and I don't know if this needs to be part of Bike Month again or not, but you know, the bike mini concerts that were a year or so ago, that could be incorporated into Bike Month. That was really fun another time. And I just wanted to pass along that Aaron probably already knows this, but you know, UDOT, the new UDOT team from UDOT was down and had a breakfast station during Bike to Work morning, and the region staff, so UDOT has broken up into regions, and the region staff that was there participating in that was really blown away, excuse me, by the number of participants that came through and that they saw on the road. And so that's a really, really big deal and a good impression to leave with the Department of Transportation. So again, just excellent job of executing that and sending that really positive message, and you know, the bike culture in Provo and how important it is to the city and to us as residents.
Hugh, thanks for sharing that. And also Logan deserves a shout out for taking the initiative and reaching out to UDOT and asking them to participate. That wouldn't have happened if Logan wouldn't have suggested and then actually made the invitation. So thanks again, Logan.
Oh, you're welcome. We're talking about the Bike to Work Day. I just jumped back on the call. So
yeah, and then you're inviting UDOT.
Oh
yeah, appreciate
well,
that.
yeah. I was glad to see them there. It was really great to have them there.
I also just joined in, and something I found out about recently is apparently there's a yearly Golden Spoke ride. Was this a part of the celebrations that we talked about?
Yes, it was on the schedule. And they actually had a kind of a kickoff event in Riverside Park, I think it was. And Hugh was part of that group. Maybe you can speak to this. I think you were the only one among us here that participated.
Yeah, thanks, Aaron. Yeah, started at Riverside Park, and this year that event had two starting points, one there in Provo and one in Ogden. And groups rode from those points to South Salt Lake, Tracy Aviary Nature Center along the Jordan River. And everybody sort of trickled in their own pace. There were maybe 15 of us that started in Provo together, and it was actually quite fun because more or less everybody stuck together for that 15-mile ride, give or take. And so it's a gorgeous day, and for those that haven't had the opportunity to experience the Connected Trail, great, especially here in Utah County. So I think that will continue to be organized during the month of May. In years past, it's kind of bounced around as far as what time it's being held, but I think it'll be continued in the future, be part of BikeWalk in the month of May. So.
Also, on your earlier point, the concert cruise will be happening again in August of this year. Aspen, who's actually leaving the city, she's been a great partner in Parks and Rec for a number of years. She said that her successor has been entrusted with doing that concert cruise. So I'm planning to reach out to her and make sure it happens, because it's a really wonderful event.
Brady, was there anything else you wanted to say about the Golden Spoke ride? Were you a participant in that, or just curious about it?
Just curious about it, but definitely going next year. I've lived next to the Murray Trail for a long time and only just found about the whole Golden Spoke network and the yearly ride.
Cool.
But definitely going next year.
And we introduced everyone at the beginning. Can you tell us who, I don't know you, can you tell us who you are and why you're interested in BikeWalk Provo?
I'm actually an Orem resident, and I've tried to get in contact with the Orem corollary to BikeWalk Provo, but haven't had luck, and that's why I'm here tonight, but that's something that can be talked about later on in the evening.
Awesome. Well, thank you. And I see Rob jumped into. Rob, you haven't heard about from Tom. He was possibly going to present today about the bike.
Sorry, you cut up at the end, but no, I haven't heard from Tom. I jumped on because I jump on because I jump on every month, but I was excited to hear what his presentation was, but I haven't heard from him. So. Okay.
Well, we'll ask him to chat with us next month. Yeah. And Rick West was also going to be on our agenda today. I don't see him either. Aaron, can you just give us maybe a little preview of the Provost Trail that Rick was going to talk about and kind of what's happening there?
Sure. Do you have anything else to talk about before I jump in?
Not that, yeah, that was the agenda today, unless anyone else has anything on Bike Month. Okay. Yeah, I think we're good, Aaron.
Okay. Let me share my screen. Let's see, share. Okay, well, let me show you where it's at. If I can. So can you see that? You see that map?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So this is a map of this route that we discovered. It's kind of amazing because folks in Provo, including in this neighborhood in the southeast southeast neighborhoods in Provo really didn't know about this route, but we discovered it, and it follows for much of the route on the lower Union Canal, and there's parts of it that are on a trail, and then there are parts that are on sidewalks that were mandated to be wider than usual because this is a designated trail, and it runs nicely from Provost Elementary right here down to Bicentennial Park. There's a few crossings that need to be addressed, and a few months ago we talked to Rob about those. And what's happening, and what Rick was going to talk about, was that we received several $100s from the Utah County Health Department to sign this trail, to build awareness of the trail. And Jacob, as our new creative director, is going to help us design those signs. So they'll direct people through the trail, build awareness of the trail, and we're looking forward to working with the school district and the city with Rob to kind of make improvements to make the trail even better than it is. So any questions?
No, I'm excited to ride it. When we're going on Friday? Is that the plan?
Yeah, it looks like Jacob, Rick, and I are going to ride it and kind of nail down the location of the signs, because we'll have the location really matters, because the arrows on the signs will depend on where we place those signs. So we're going to do that tomorrow, and then we have to place the order. Actually, Dakota's going to place the order for us by the middle of the month, and then once we get the signs, we're hoping to do some sort of event with that neighborhood, perhaps to place the signs or to ride the route. I'm not exactly sure. We're gonna figure that out. But we're Southeast Provo in many ways is kind of a transportation desert. It's a food desert as well, but it's an active transportation desert, I should say. And this trail is a step toward addressing that deficit.
I have a question, Aaron.
Sure.
And Jacob. So will this signage that you develop be something that is only geared towards this route, or are you planning to use that design and sign other places someday?
Ooh, I like that idea.
Jacob, you want me to speak to that?
Yeah, please do.
Sure. So the Javin Weaver in community development is been working on wayfinding signage for Provo. So this signage that we're putting up, these will be vinyl signs. They're temporary, but this is a step toward that. We need a wayfinding signage system that is unified, that's kind of standardized, that people can recognize. So the hope is that this will be these signs will be temporary, and they'll be replaced by permanent signs that will be part of a larger system that will include our neighborhood byways, 200 east and 300 west, and so on. And Javin is working on it. I'm periodically try to light a fire under him to move things along. I'm hopeful that it will get done soon.
Remind me who Javin is again.
Javin is one of the planners with community development. He's great, but I think he has a lot on his plate.
So all that funding to permanent signage will come obviously from the city.
Yes.
Great.
And I have one other question for Kira. Kira, did we do this ride at Halloween?
Yeah, I've been trying to think about this. I know we did part of it.
Okay.
I wasn't aware of this whole like connecting route, but
Okay.
there's definitely a section kind of near the bottom before Bicentennial that we jumped on.
And just to speak to your question again, Chelsea, and I know you've spent time in Boise, but Boise has a wonderful wayfinding system. I was up there in March, and it was unseasonably cold that week, and so I didn't do much biking, but I ran all over the city, and I looked at bike infrastructure, including their wayfinding system, and it really a good wayfinding system makes all the difference. It's not only good for cyclists so they know where to go, but it also raises awareness among those who are driving that this is a legitimate way to get around. Yeah, I think this is one of my goals, to get the city to get this done this year.
Yeah, I grew up in Boise, and so you mentioned those wayfinding signs, and I hadn't even noticed them because when I lived there, I knew where I was going. But
Right.
then last time I went, I was like, oh, these are really great.
Aaron, one more thing. So what the timeline of getting the designs finished and finalized? When do we
Right.
need to print, and who is printing it?
Oh, yes. So this is what you're now seeing on the screen is a design that Rick came up with, and Jacob's going to improve on this. And we're going to add, it won't just be cyclists, it'll also have pedestrians and maybe scooter riders. Anyway, so we need I asked Dakota to give us a deadline because I wanted to move things along. Dakota said by the middle of the month. So all we need to give him is the designs, the number of signs for the number that we want for each sign. And he will get bids, he'll place the order, and then he'll hand them off to us.
Okay, so he needs the design by the 15th. Is that what
Yeah.
I'm hearing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Sounds good.
So these signs are similar to the ones that we put up maybe 3-4 years ago on 200 East and 800 East. And some of those signs are still up even to this day.
Okay.
Yeah.
My question is, and we can talk more about the design just quickly.
Yep.
The arrows that we want to make sure they're going the right direction. Are we wanting a lot of information with those arrows, or primarily it's just an arrow? Because if that's the case, then all we have to do is print it one way on a square, poster and just orientate it, or like the direction that we need.
That I think we should try to keep them simple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Rick has added the distances. And I think we can incorporate that. I think that's also helpful for people.
For sure.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll talk more about that. We'll find out.
Yeah. Tomorrow, I think we're planning to meet at 4.
Okay, 4 o'clock. I will put that down on my calendar. Where are we meeting at, by the way?
Why don't I swing by your place and we'll ride over there?
Sounds good.
Yeah. I'll respond to that email thread. So
if anybody else wants to come, you're more than welcome to join.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. An excuse to go for a ride and see a different part of Provo.
For sure.
Rob, do you have any updates on moving the crosswalk? Rob, are you still with us?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah.
This is the one on where, let me go back to the.
I think it's
I don't have it pulled up
960.
right now.
Is that 960 north? I believe 960 south. Is that it, right? Or 900 south?
Yeah, 900 south.
900 south. Yeah.
And remind me, you wanted the crossing, you're thinking the crossing would work better on the east side of the street because that lines up with the trail on the east side. Is that, am I recalling that correctly? East side of 1150, or is it? Oh no, it's down at the wider trail.
Yeah,
further east.
maybe we should look at Google Earth. What is or Google, what is that? 900 South Provo? That should get us there. Yeah, let's see, here we are. So, yeah, right. No, where is it? Sorry. Oh, yeah, there it is. There it is. So it's now, yeah, it's now on the west side. And there was talk of moving it to the east side to align with the trail.
Yeah, I'm supportive of doing that. I don't have an update for you
Okay.
in terms of, I'll have to talk to my guys and see when we can do that, but.
Right. And I think, do we need to communicate with the school district about this one?
We would, since that, I believe, let me, actually, you're on there. You may take a look and see what kind of signs we have, but considering the high hazard markings, I'm assuming that is a school crossing. I don't remember off the top
Yeah,
of my
this
head.
is a safe
Yeah.
routes. Yeah.
Yeah, we'd have to talk with the community council, which, since it's already done, and I had forgotten to bring that up with them, since already done with the school year, I'd have to bring it up with them when they meet next in August, probably. So,
Okay.
because
Okay.
yeah, I can't change the, or at least I
Right.
should not change the safe route without talking to them. So yeah, I apologize. I dropped the ball on that one, but
You're good.
we'll,
Yep.
we'll move forward with it.
You're doing lots of other great things. So
Wouldn't you have to also, sorry, wouldn't you have to also fix the pathway to meet ADA standards?
Yeah, if we put in a new safe route crossing, then yes, we put in ADA ramps.
Oh, cool.
So the one thing that I'll have to check to as I'm looking at this, I think, and I haven't, I guess I've said yes theoretically, and we'll now need to figure out exactly how we're going to do it, because I'm just looking, and there's a curb inlet right where where it would make the most sense to put a crossing right there.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I'll have to take a look and see how that might work.
I think the other compelling reasons for moving it to the east was, I think this sidewalk to the west is narrower. It looks narrower here.
Right.
And also there's a fierce dog that lives on that corner. So according to Rick. Yeah.
All right.
So just to show folks, here's the best part of this route. This is a trail that runs alongside or over this lower Union Canal. So it goes down and connects 900 south to 960 south. And then you cross, now you turn this way and you go to the east, and these sidewalks here, it's hard to tell. Actually, you can tell. You can see that these sidewalks, where my cursor is a wider sidewalk, right, than across the street. So this is part of that official route. And then once you get down here, you cut through, and it's kind of a trail again, and it goes over here. This is one section that's gravel. And it needs to be improved. I'm trying to get the neighborhood to kind of take the initiative and add asphalt to connect it to this road. This is a kind of a busy road. This crossing will need to be addressed at some point. And then the trail goes through this kind of townhome complex, but it's still running along the one-time route of the canal, and then once it gets over here, then you're on a sidewalk that runs down to this very busy road. And Rob, we've talked about this road, right? Addressing it. This is the diciest road. It's a really wide road and really fast, even though it shouldn't be that fast. And then once you cross that road, as you can see, you're to Bicentennial Park. And I just noticed that Rick West, who's kind of leading this effort, has signed on. Rick, is there anything you want? In your absence, in your delay in joining us, Christine asked me to kind of explain the route. Is there anything you'd like to add?
No, and sorry for being late. Just
You're
got
good.
back from an appointment. So thank you, Aaron.
Okay. Any other questions from the group? Oh, Rick, just to give you an update, Rob Hunter with the city said he's going to work on that crosswalk in the fall with the community council. We wanted to move it from where I've lost myself now. There's 900. We wanted to move it from the west side to the east side, right?
Yeah, yeah,
This crosswalk, yeah.
yeah. And I mean, that's just because the current property owner there on the on that what is that? That
West
side
side.
right there. Yeah, the west side there. They've got a bunch of dogs. Nobody walks there. A bunch of weeds, bunch of dogs. And so nobody walks that way. Everyone walks on the other side of the street anyway. So I don't know if that will change in 5 years if the property owner changes, but that's been the situation for the last 10 years anyway that I've lived there. So
Hey, Aaron, I have one concern. Well, it's not a concern, just a consideration.
Yeah.
How do we propose to put these signs up? I'm seeing a lot of residential areas. Like, do we need to buy, I don't even know, stakes or something to?
That's something that you and Rick and I are going to have to figure out tomorrow.
Okay.
As much as possible, I think we want to put them on existing poles and fences where we feel comfortable doing so. I have some big stakes that we could use. I don't think we want to use H frames because those will go missing pretty quick.
I was just gonna say, do we need to do any like booby trapping to these things, or that's a joke? I imagine a lot of them are gonna go missing by the end.
Yes, but you know, the ones that we put up 4 years ago, as I mentioned, a lot of them are still up.
Okay.
And I think this is not an area where there's BYU students. There are probably more teenagers. So I think we'll be okay. Yeah.
Cool. I don't have any more questions. I do have another topic I want to talk about when we're done with this one. So
is Christine still with us and moderating?
I am, and I wanted to mention with the signage too, obviously we want to be really respectful of the neighborhood and any, personal property and permissions and everything like that. So I'm sure you guys are conscious of that, but
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought about that too, for sure.
Yeah, we'll be very conscious of that. It helps though that this is a easement. This is a a designated route. So any poles and other things that are there are pretty much free game, but we'll be very, very careful about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Rick, can you talk to us a little bit about like the neighborhood engagement plan for this route, kind of in general, like, that we want people that live in that neighborhood to know about it, to use it, and also maybe even be there to support putting up the signage. I think there's a case to be made about, just notifying people of of any potential changes, especially if it's really close to their homes. So, Rick, do you want to talk about anything, our plan around that?
Well, it's a good question, and I'll be honest that it's been it's a really rough time right now for me, so I don't have a lot of time that I can invest in outreach at this point. But what I think we can do is like I'm a part of the Facebook group for the Provost South group. I can talk to them. We know who the community chair is. I think it's Sabrina, unless it's changed, Hewitt, for the other community, so we can engage her. I know Sabrina personally, so we can talk to her. I don't know, and I'll be honest with you that's one thing where I could use some help, because as far as like organizing a great big let's all get out and put up the signs, I'm feeling a little overwhelmed about organizing something like that. But I can show up and I can help, and I can talk to the community chairs, and I can do that kind of thing. So
Yeah, that's awesome, and we're happy to be your support. And Chelsea, maybe this is something we brainstorm together from a communications approach with Aaron and Rick as well. So just keep that on our radar.
And I wonder maybe if the best strategy might be just a small group put up the signs, and then later kind of have a community, multi-neighborhood ride, scoot, walk, whatever, to kind of celebrate the official designation of this route. I mean, asking people to come and put up signs may not be very exciting. So we'll have to think about, what's the best way to involve the neighborhoods. Yeah.
I will say though, Christine, that one thing we have done is we've talked to the school board representative and the city council member over this area. So they're both aware of it and supportive of it. And so they know, I think the community chairs know as well, at least a little bit, but you're right that we need to engage the rest of involve the rest of the neighborhoods a little bit more.
Yeah, and you make a good point. Maybe they have communication channels. Like I think it's Shannon Ellsworth, right? Is she the city council member?
Yeah.
Over this area? Yeah, she I think has a newsletter, and so it would be a cool thing to help provide her with some content about the route that she could share in a newsletter to her district. So yeah, let's Chelsea, if you could become involved from a communication perspective, I think that would be really good.
Hey,
Go
ahead, sorry.
Would you like me to reach out at this point to the community chairs and the Provost Facebook group and should I tell them that we're planning to do this, or do you think we should wait until we've done it and then celebrate it like you were saying, Aaron? Because I could tonight, put together, the map and kind of explain it to people and write up an email post and things like that.
Let's maybe wait until we have the signs designed, and maybe we could engage them and ask for their feedback and say, this is happening. So yes, I think we should, but maybe not tonight.
Okay.
Yeah.
I agree with that. I think let's wait until we kind of have formalized kind of dates and plan and kind of additional plans, and then we can garner support and also just awareness of what's happening. But I think that can wait just a little bit longer.
I have one more question. Have we ever approached the city about being part of their utility newsletter that they send out every month? Meaning give us a little section, a little blip, what's happening in the bike community, what new routes are available. That way, I know it would go to everybody, but at least we have a bigger audience. What are your thoughts on that?
They have allowed us some space in the run up to Bike Month. It didn't happen this year. I don't know if they would be willing to give us something every month, but periodically, I think we could have something included.
Okay.
I think that's a really good idea. Yeah.
Just to kind of piggyback on that, Jacob, maybe one angle, at least for this project, is, because that canal runs through there, it's not connected to the utility, but it is like the movement of water.
Right. No, for sure. I would love to get our foot in the door. Who's in charge of that, by the way? Do we know? Have we spoken to anybody at the city about you know, adding information.
What about the signage and?
No, who have who have we
Oh.
approached? Yeah, because if I need to go and talk to them, I would love to see like why they wouldn't let us, you know, annually do that or a
Yeah,
monthly.
it's Nicole Martin in the mayor's office, and we have a good relationship with her. So yeah,
Send me that email, or do you want to? Because I think we should definitely approach her. The worst case scenario, she says no, but this would be a phenomenal thing. I mean, imagine a mass email. Like we're literally piggybacking on like
yeah,
Taylor's. Like we should do it for sure.
yeah. Let's continue that conversation and figure out what the best way
Okay.
to make that introduction and approach her.
Okay. Sounds good.
So I'll have to correct myself on, I guess I did do more outreach when we talked about it originally a few months ago, Aaron. And at least it was, it was 2 or 3 months ago. And we are actually putting in ADA ramps, but at that intersection, but in the location where it is right now. And that's because of how the storm drain comes in. Not only is there in talking with the guys that are over the road rehab, I mean, that is under my group, but anyways, the ones that from my group that work directly on it. And it is because of where the storm drain is located. And right now, storm drain is one of the biggest setbacks in terms of trying to get it to get projects done. So this year we are putting in ADA ramps, including at that intersection. They're on 900 South, but it's going to be in the current location because we don't have the issue with the storm drain inlets.
So Rick, are the dogs so bad there that the kids are afraid to walk on the sidewalk?
Yeah. I mean, they're in the fence. And so, you know, it's like it's legal. They're fenced up, but they come in, they jump right on the fence and bark at you really loud, and nobody wants, they're weeds to overrun the sidewalk. It's basically not a public walkway. It's just not very usable.
I bet there's lots of goat heads too then, right?
There's lots of goat heads.
I'm sure there is. So, and to clarify, that's not to say that's to clarify that I did actually talk to somebody about it. That's not to say that we can't do something different in a future year. It's just that's what's being done. That's what we could get done this year. So
thank you for your efforts.
If we're done with this, can I have one more thing?
Sure.
Somebody mentioned about
if it's okay with Christine.
Yeah,
sure.
sorry, I don't mean to take over. Christine, are you okay with that?
Yeah, that's fine. I actually have to drop. So Aaron, you can wrap up the meeting after, if that's okay.
Yep.
But thank you all. And yeah, Jacob, feel free to ask your question.
Great. I saw from Karen, she mentioned cleaning the bike lanes. And I want to add to that. I am so tired of running into trash cans or being obstructed by trash cans when I go pick up my groceries on Tuesday. And I know it's one day of the week that I ride on 800 North and that's where the trash cans are. But it seems like 500 North seems to be, they have their act together. And I'm wondering why. Is that because there's a buffer there? Like there's an extra one? Okay, yeah. Okay, tell me why. You seem like you've taken care of it.
I trained them.
Oh, did you really? Okay, so that's my thing. So what do I need to do?
I have notes notes for regular bike lanes and notes for buffered bike lanes.
Okay.
And after the city put in those buffered bike lanes, I left notes repeatedly, and I moved cans, and now
okay,
so I raised them up and they know what to do now. Yeah. But
I raised them up. Okay, listen. So are you saying I should, on my way back from the grocery store, if I see any, maybe move them out of the way and slap a thing on their
and I can provide these messages.
Just like doorbell ditch them and run away, or how do you do it?
No, I tape them on the cans. Sometimes I tape them on the doorstep, but yeah.
I'll just tape them then. That sounds great. Great. Oh, and then the cleaning. Do they actually clean the lanes? Because
call 311.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Be a squeaky wheel.
All right.
Yeah. Call it, or you can.
You want me to be a squeaky wheel, or what are you talking about?
What's that?
What are you talking about? Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. You can also use 311 online, take a photo, but the more they hear about this, if they're hearing from people constantly, it will become more of a priority for the city.
Okay.
Sounds great. I don't have any more.
Rob, do you have anything on that? Is that is that statement correct?
Yeah, that's the best thing to do is to submit something or call a 311,
Yep.
get it in the system that where the problem is at. So, I mean, I can tell you that our streets department is just like everybody is super overloaded right now. But yeah, if you want it to be up on their priority list, the more they hear about it, the more it moves up on the priority list.
Okay.
And when you make those requests, of course, do it, diplomatically, be kind.
Of course.
But also, if you see people parking in the bike lanes, call 311.
Okay.
Sounds good.
All right, anything else?
Nope.
Okay, well, let's wrap things up, and maybe Rick and Jacob, if you two could linger, and we'll nail down our appointment for tomorrow.
Sounds good.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank
Happy
you.
riding.
You know.
Yeah.